Good morning, everyone. It's March 27th, and we're still just had fake spring here for a week, and now we're back to second winter. And I think we're going to be possibly riding into April and ice fishing. I mean, possibly into May if things keep going the way they are. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about the 2023 Arctic Cat slash Yamaha release, and I don't know, maybe just some interesting. I don't think I'm gonna have any new information than what's already been out in the magazines and whatnot. And I wanted to wait a bit and just really see what was going on with Arctic Cat and Yamaha, because anyway, I think the first thing that I need to get off my chest is about Yamaha and the fact that they're not a manufacturer anymore. I'm just annoyed at the whole situation. Yamaha doesn't build a sled, at least for North America. There are no Yamaha sleds. If you bought a Yamaha, other than a VK540 and a Venture, a VK Pro, then you're buying an Arctic Cat. That's what it is. Yamaha is an engine supplier and clutch supplier, I guess, if you want to get technical, to Arctic Cat, just like Suzuki was. So I mean, 10 years ago, if Arctic Cat slapped Suzuki stickers on the side of their sleds, and said, oh yeah, there's a fifth manufacturer, Suzuki, it's like the same thing. So no Yamaha sleds. If you are a Yamaha fan today, then you're an Arctic Cat fan. Don't know how else to put it. Yamaha builds one hell of an engine, no doubt. But so did Suzuki, so does Fuji, so does Rotax. I mean, so yeah, I'm just annoyed with the magazines, and I understand they're in a difficult spot when I'm not going to call any magazines specifically out, but there was a couple segments where people were talking about the Mountain Max, and that oh yeah, my dad had a Mountain Max back in the day and now I'm riding a Mountain Max. And it's just no, you're not even riding any of your remotely the same sled with zero of the heritage. So the Mountain Max is literally an Arctic Cat, everything Arctic Cat, with a sticker that says Yamaha on the side in a different color. So that's just super annoying. But anyway, Yamaha, they're a massive company, and all their other recreational products are phenomenal. Their build quality is just out of this world. Look at their watercraft. They're works of art, and they've got the money. They could just throw the money away and completely kill it in the snow industry, but that's not the way they operate. It's not the philosophy of their company. And I think the snowmobile market was a loss leader for them, so they're just cutting their losses. And I think they'll be an engine supplier to Arctic Cat, as long as that makes sense. And maybe that might not even be a long-term thing. Who knows? But anyway, I won't bother with Yamaha because there's no such thing as a Yamaha sled. It's all Arctic Cat. So what's new in Arctic Cat this year? Nothing really. Bold new graphics. You can get power steering in the Thundercat and whatnot now. You can get the Riot with the 9000, so with the turbo. And that's pretty much it. I mean, some little updates on the Blast and a couple things. One, to me, the biggest thing is the RR, the 600 RR sled, which Arctic Cat's always been really good about providing the consumers with the full-fledged 100% race sled. So when you buy that, that's the sled with the funny stepped seat on it. You're getting the race sled, period, end of story, not watered down. Other you can't go buy a race sled from Skidoo or a race sled from Polaris unless you're in the program. But with Arctic Cat, you can. So that's really good. And like Arctic Cat is like, I don't say my least favorite manufacturer, but it's the one that it doesn't thrill me too much. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging on them. I have a lot of respect for Arctic Cat. They're a scrappy company. They've had some really amazing innovations over the years. They've come out with some really interesting ideas, suspension wise, especially. And, I mean, yeah, like every manufacturer, their current chassis has gone through, the current development has gone through some teething issues for sure, like mainly around just fit and finish and general build quality have been a struggle for Arctic Cat for sure. The early Procross chassis were just basically slapped together. Bad welds, bad fit and finish, bad panel fitment, like poor snow sealing, just really not good. Bad engine mapping on the 800s. The C-Tech 600 has been a pretty solid engine, I think. The slot injected 600 was a really good, solid engine for sure. But nowadays, like they've had 10 plus years to refine the Procross chassis, and I think like you take one from 2012 or 2013 and you put it beside one now, world of difference when you look up close. Like they've really tightened up the build quality. The panels fit way better. All the belly pan seams and stuff like are perfectly sealed now. You don't have that snow ingestion problem. I think they've got all the QC issues pretty much worked out. I mean, suspension wise, like the rear suspension, like whatever, it works. There's nothing to write home about. Polaris and Skidoo have a vastly superior rear suspensions. However, the front suspension on an Arctic Cat it's sensitive to being dialed in like correctly, but that front suspension handles like a slot car on especially on like groom trails, sweepers. It is really, really well tracking, like straight line, and it is wicked flat cornering and holds a line probably better than any other suspension. So like they have their good points, and they're a damn sharp looking sled. Like even 10 years on, they're a really good looking sled for sure. And like even out in the snow, where like I think my XM is a damn sharp looking sled, but you put a Procross out in the snow, especially the all black or the Riot, even with the green and blue, which looked weird on paper, but those things are just amazingly nice looking sleds for sure. So yeah, Cat's got, like everybody, Cat's got their teething issues and stuff, but I think they still build a decent sled, and they have a diehard fan base. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future here. Like I know in the magazines, like Super Tracks was saying that Cat said they're in it for the long haul. They're gonna be around. But yeah, businesses have said that before and then closed up shop a week later. Don't believe that. That's just all BS. You know what? Don't tell me. Show me. Show me you're going to be around. Show me you got big things coming down the pipeline. Like prove it. So I'd see maybe a couple of different things happening with Cat. Textron is a massive company, like massive company. And I think their focus is on off-road vehicles, the dirt industry, golf carts, that type of thing. And I don't really think they're super interested in the snowmobile industry. But I mean, the entire development budget and whatnot of Cat can be lost in a rounding error in Textron, in the Textron accounting. So it's not like overall they'd have to invest very much in terms of their like total capitalization. They could throw pocket change to them at Arctic Cat and like significantly bolster their development, manufacturing, and everything. So maybe they're going to do that. Maybe what I'm looking at is the pessimist in me says maybe they're just gonna coast on, their current chassis, their current infrastructure, their current manufacturing capability, and sell what they can and kind of wind down over the next couple of years based on, the amount of snow checks they get, slowly wind down. Then either Textron will sell it for parts, intellectual property, manufacturing capability, the patents, whatever CAT has, or they'll sell it wholesale, like complete wholesale to just another manufacturer, like maybe Honda wants to get into the game. I don't know. So maybe that might happen, and they'll exit the snow industry, or they're just biding their time based on the current state of everything right now, with inflation running kind of high, hard to get anything, raw materials, whatever, like the price, all that stuff, super crazy. Price of gas right now, it may not be like super politically like a friendly environment for more recreational type vehicles. So I don't know, and the supply chain, shipping, like just everything's working against trying to come out with something brand new and, to revamp a brand and revamp your development and revamp your manufacturing. So they may be just biding their time and waiting for a window of opportunity, so that they can, kind of in the background, get their supply chains tightened up, get their manufacturing like revamped, administrative changes, whatever they need to do to lay the groundwork to actually reliably deliver sleds. And because I don't think people understand the bloody amount of background work that needs to be done. It's not just sleds being built in an assembly line, just the being able to source components reliably is a friggin' nightmare right now for anybody. So when you've got components coming from 50, 60 different suppliers, one or two of those not being able to fill your orders causes you to not be able to build complete sleds, and just causes like a chain reaction. So perhaps they're just biding their time and doing the homework and putting in the legwork to be able to just come out swinging in 2024, when hopefully all this stuff gets figured out, or they have some good plans in place to be able to deal with perhaps supply chain issues or whatnot. So maybe they're going to come out 2024 swinging. Like, I have no doubt there's already a new chassis, like completed development. It's already there. I'm sure they built prototypes, maybe even a new 2-stroke power plant, maybe a 4-stroke, I don't know, but I'm sure that they've got that done, because they've been on the Procross chassis for like over 10 years now, and there's no doubt that they've got something in the pipeline. And I think the optimist says that they're just waiting for the planets to align, or relatively align, so that they can actually come out with a successful launch and not be like constantly trying to piss up a rope, or pushing crap uphill to make money. So I really hope that they stick around. I really hope that they do really come out with something good and are able to reinvigorate the brand and are able to claw back a bit of market share, because having more competition is always better. I don't know, everybody talks about that's just capitalism, companies get bigger. It's like, well, no, that's not the way it works. Capitalism requires competition in the market, and if there's one manufacturer that's basically got the market cornered, it's no longer capitalist economy in that section. It's you've got a monopoly there, and then it's yeah, creates all sorts of problems. So the more competition, the better. Competition means innovation, means price competitiveness, means like all sorts of really good things for you and me, the consumer. So anyway, I don't want to like get too nuts with this, and I know this really wasn't about their lineup at all this year, because there's like whatever, look at last year, it's the same thing pretty much. This is more of like the future of Cat and the non-future of Yamaha. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what else to say, and I'm just hoping that things look better for 2024 for Arctic Cat, because Polaris and Skidoo certainly had really killer releases this year for 2023, and very impressive lineups and what they were able to do like in this current environment. But I think they've got better, like they're more, I think, business savvy than Cat is, and I'm hoping that Textron is able to take some of their business acumen, and inject it into Cat, and maybe, you know, like ease that process a bit. Anyway, that's it for me. I've got really not much more to say about Cat and Yamaha. And yeah, and like, hey, hopefully you guys are having a good March and you're still able to ride. And yeah, and if not, hope you have a great summer. Get the sled maintained, get ready for next year. And yeah, we'll be talking to you soon.